Residents, go in and stay in your houses. Drive the rats in the tank area.
What is up, motherfuckers?
All right. Welcome to everybody who has joined us tonight. And hopefully you know the band that we're going to covering tonight, which is who, Gangis?
KoRn.
KoRn. Now, Gangis, have you seen KoRn live?
Not yet. I really want to, but I have not. Every time they play in this area, it's at like one of those venues that you just really don't want to go to because their layout sucks.
Oh,
So no, I haven't seen them.
and I saw them on this KoRn 2. I saw them when they were touring this CD.
Mm-hmm.
So a long time ago. And I thought it was a great show. Gangis, guess who opened up for KoRn when I saw
I
him?
don't know who.
I think I've already mentioned it before. Oh, it's one of your favorites.
Oh shit.
Not one of my favorites.
Oh, Rammstein?
No. Worse than that.
Worse than that. Oh no, who is it?
Your favorite. You're a dream girl.
Oh, now I know. Okay.
Yeah. That's the time when I nearly got in a fight. A drunk knocked my daughter down about
Oh,
14
I
to
remember
20
that
feet in
story
front of
now.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hey,
that
Kyler.
was
Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. I have something to make you feel better, though.
When you're not feeling so good, there's the lazy nipple. It's the lazy nipple song.
well, that was even better. Kyler should feel really special
He
since
should.
he got that.
Ooh, Kyler saw KoRn was Stained. That sounds like a good show.
Ah. What year was that, Kyler?
Yeah, what year was that, dude?
When I saw him, they didn't have Brian Head Welch, and I really they did sound a little thin live. They had a different guitarist in there, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't tuned as low as Brian did.
That could be.
But yeah, so we're gonna go through the top 5 KoRn albums as chosen by us because they have such a huge discography. I mean, there must be 12 albums.
14.
14. It would take us forever to go through all those. Of course, I'm ready with all of my choices. I have all of them on CD because I've been collecting them for forever.
It was difficult for me a little bit. I ended up swapping things around in my list more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I will unveil my kind of overall impression after doing this one. I was surprised. I'll unveil it a little bit later. But yeah, there were some. My number 1 is what I thought was going to be my number 1.
Same.
But numbers 2 through 5, I wasn't really sure how they were going to land until I listened to everything. But I can tell why I didn't choose any of the newer stuff. Like for the last, I would say, 15 years, I didn't choose any of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have reasons. But I have reasons why, and I kind of feel like there's a lot of really good songwriting in the new ones.
For sure.
But they're pulling out things that I feel are gimmicks, and I'm a little bit more sensitive to new metal and why new metal is new metal. And my reveal is that I've discovered why I'm bothered by new metal a lot more now these days because I've kind of pulled away from it. I've listened to a lot more of extreme metal. But I will say I'll take any KoRn album over any Metallica album post 1988.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fair.
take any KoRn album over any of them. Well, except I don't. I do have the unplugged. I just don't like that one so much. I feel like KoRn needs to be intense, and on that unplugged one, it just
I loved their unplugged. It was what it was. I thought it was just really cool because I feel like unless a band can go like crazy heavy and also do things unplugged, I feel like that just says a lot about how talented they truly are. And they pulled it off. I mean, it was a little bit strange, but it was good.
I just felt like it was a little flat, and just like, man, when I compare it to the how the songs are being
Right.
down tuned and nasty and really gritty,
Yeah,
especially
for sure.
all the songs before then. Um, by the way, for all of our viewers, in case you didn't catch Josh Elmore of Cattle Decapitation from last Sunday, we have that stuff up on YouTube. It's always up there. Do we have those up on Facebook? Because I don't know. I don't
Yep.
go on Facebook,
Yep.
but I'm a YouTube guy, so they're on YouTube. Like if you can't make these show or you can't make it live, then go check it out. He spent 2 hours with us.
He
I
did.
had to I had to pee so damn bad. And I know Gangis had to go. You had a family commitment.
Yeah.
Of course, Reaper had to leave because he had a family commitment. But Josh Elmore of Cattle Decapitation was so generous with his time.
Oh, I
He
feel like he
gave
would have
us,
sat there for another hour if we hadn't told him we had to go.
oh heck yeah, he would. He's that great in person.
For sure.
Um, Now though, like as the band's bigger, and I didn't get to this with him, is he doesn't get to come out with everybody as much. And when
Mhm.
I saw him just over a year ago, when COVID was still a problem in Atlanta, and he didn't come out at all then. But I think that was a Metal Blade Records thing and a choice for them to stay healthy and not get COVID and
Yeah.
derail the tour. Like that would be really effed up. So I can totally understand that. But yeah, if you haven't, go back and go through. We have all kinds of videos on YouTube that are archived. Just go through Tracks of the Damned. There's also all Reapers. You guys
Yeah.
have several different shows that you have on there. I think The Shred is one.
Yep.
And yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff. We've been working pretty hard for you guys. Like I do a lot of research. I don't get to listen to a lot of newer music because I'm always
Right.
listening to the bands that we're going to have on for each week. But it's a lot of fun. It's worth it.
It is a lot of fun.
All right, we're going to get started, or do we want to do a commercial, or do our first number 5 and then do the commercial?
Yeah, let's do our number 5 and then do a commercial.
All right.
All right. So I picked as my number 5 an album that I really like, even though a lot of people hail it. It's probably one of their worst albums.
I know which one you're going to say.
I'm sure you do. I
I'm going to
freaking
get
love
it
the
out.
Path of Totality, though. That's their album that they did with Skrillex, and so many people. I still hate that fucking album cover. It's horrible. But anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like especially in like the metal scene, a lot of people like very anti-electronic, dubstep and all that sort of stuff. I like that shit. So, personal preference. I love that album though, and it has so many good songs, especially like Narcissistic Cannibal. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, good song. Good song. People love to hate this album. I mean,
They
they
really do.
really, really love to hate this album. I thought this was a really good choice by KoRn because back then Dubstate it had been out for like a couple of years, but it had really just hit mainstream.
Mhm.
Everybody at the tattoo shop when I was apprenticing were totally into dubstep. And then when this came out, yeah, I liked it. It didn't make my top 5, but it's an honorable mention. I do like the Path of Totality.
All right.
I think that there are aspects in dubstep where things are just a little gnarly, where they kind of jitter
Yeah,
things,
and
and
some of the drops and stuff are just ugh.
yeah, I think a lot of people. I think what it suffers from is you kind of get stuck in that sound, and I think it's hard.
Mhm.
After a couple of years of hearing it, I think it kind of died down a bit because people kind of wanted more with it. And it has such a distinct identity that I
For
think it
sure.
was hard to get to introduce something new with it. And I mean, this was pretty new for dubstep. I thought
Agreed.
KoRn was a great choice
Oh, absolutely.
for that. That's a good album. Like a lot of you guys, if and that you brought up a really good point about if you're kind of into like electronic stuff, if you're open-minded toward that, this really might be your KoRn album.
It definitely might be.
I think it's a really good album. I enjoyed it when it came out. Enjoyed the video they made, and they had the making of that video, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
And I think it was right after this album is when they got Brian Head Welch back.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was right after this album. I always liked him a lot. I don't like his Jesus bullshit. I mean,
No.
he's not pushy. Like he's really cool about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if that's what saved him from the drugs and stuff, cool. Good for him. Seems like a really cool guy. He looks really cool too. I like all of his eyeliner and the really dark long dreads. Like
Yeah.
he looks really freaking cool. Cool guy. Well, my number 5 is Follow the Leader.
Okay.
And it's a good album. Really, really good album. Let's see, which ones like stood out to me? Freak on a Leash, of course. Freak on a Leash. I mean, it's hard for me to pick just one song that I really like from them, but it's pretty damn amazing. I really like it. They still had the bass with this was pretty prominent, and they were still growling the guitars quite a bit for this album. All in the Family. I liked Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good. Children of the Corn is pretty damn heavy. Dead Bodies Everywhere, Got the Life. Like shit.
Yeah.
This album, I mean, a lot of big KoRn people would get after me over like, why isn't this higher? But I have my reasons. Like, as I will profess and tell everyone, I am more of kind of an extreme metalhead. And anything that has kind of a pop element now these days, it just feels to me a little gimmicky, and as if
For sure.
maybe a lot of the new metal bands are more about their image and their projection of different types of things on their stage show, on their videos, how they look a little bit more. Where black metal, yeah, they're going to have that, but they're going to be fucking dark. They have their makeup, they have their candles, their pig blood and skulls and naked women crucified, sometimes Gorgoroth, things like that. But I feel like it's really, really dark. And I don't feel like new metal is so much. So I've kind of pulled away from new metal over the years, but I have a lot of history with KoRn. I can remember when I first heard him, and I was just like, holy shite. What in the hell is this? I loved how gnarly and down-tuned they were using the 7-string guitars. I think Brian Head Welch used a 6-string in the earlier days, but I think he was tuned down to like C, really, really low. And then the first couple of albums, Fieldy's bass was super gnarly, a lot more prominent. Then it just got to where it was real clicky and kind of muted, and I didn't like the bass at that point. Yeah, it's a really good album. I remember the first time I heard it, like years and years and years ago. I was just like, hell yes, great album. And by the way, I am wearing one of my KoRn shirts.
Nice. I was really struggling whether to put that one or put the one I did put at number 5, but I decided dubstep needed a little bit of love. All right, what do we got here? Kyler can't listen to KoRn or Slipknot anymore because they got him through middle and high school with the worst years of his life.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you.
I could see that, especially KoRn.
Absolutely.
Unholy shite. KoRn, like Jonathan Davis writes so personally, even more than Maynard James Keenan from Tool.
Oh, absolutely.
He really puts himself out there, things he's dealt with through his life, and he's been through a lot of crap. Yeah, I could totally see that.
All right. Before we move on to our number 4s, I'm going to run a quick word from our sponsor at Poison Valley Clothing. Check it
All right.
out. All right.
Whoa.
And they've got some other new designs that I'm too lazy to add to the commercial, including ones for Iron Serpent and for Reaper. And so definitely go check out their stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's so nice to hear that we're using one of my songs on there. And just an update for any of you guys don't know, I do my own stuff. I do have Reaper doing all the drums now, which I'm totally stoked for. But I still have to program the drums. And this album is quite less straightforward than before. The time changes and there's a quirkiness. It is like funeral doom mixed with black metal for this going on
Nice.
for the new
I
album.
can't wait to hear it.
So it gets really, really slow. And it's been so hard for me to program the drums because Reaper has to listen to a basic kind of skeleton of a beat. Like I'm
Right.
not doing like polished drums and putting all the little details in there, but I do have to give him a basic thing to listen to. And then I've just been doing mostly one guitar track without bass. So he hears the rhythm and kind of the gist of the main riff on there. So he's gonna be recording all the drums pretty soon, but we're gonna be several months away just because I own a business that's taking so much of my freaking time that I have to go slowly and I'm not going to sacrifice quality for it. And I got one last thing is I got a plug for Mix Cave Mastering on Instagram. This dude is he's gonna do my mix and the master, and everything I've heard that he posts sounds immaculate. It sounds so freaking good. So of course there's going to be some lo-fi with my production, my guitar, but he's going to make it sound way better than what the previous dude did that I just fought with all the time.
Nice.
So glad I'm in America and I can deal with an American. The dude's a veteran just like I am, and it's a guy who can produce in such a kick-ass way. Okay, that's enough babbling by me.
That's okay. All right, my number 4, I had to go with 2016's The Serenity of Suffering album. I really like that. Had a lot of like sort of auditory callbacks to a lot of their earlier work, but they did it in a way that's like just a lot more polished, I suppose is the way to put it, than like their first couple albums where they didn't quite have shit together yet. And I feel like this album also had like a really nice balance between like screaming in your face, heavy, angry, and like not soft, but like less intense, I suppose. There's a nice balance to it. And I really like the songs Black as the Soul, The Hating, and Everything Falls Apart.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that album up until this week. I hadn't listened to that album in quite a while. First time I heard it, I felt like it was pretty flat. And the thing that I don't like so much, and I think Jonathan Davis does a really good job with it, is his more kind of pop-oriented singing in the chorus. Like I prefer when he doesn't do that, but I still think he does a good job with it. Like I said, I don't think there's any, and I don't think any of their albums are bad.
Right.
I think it's pretty good. What do you think of the artwork for that one? I got it here.
Yeah, show me.
Let's see. It's got a little kid out in the middle of a park. What the hell? What did I do with it? Oh, it must have stayed over on. It must be over there. Sorry, I didn't bring it over here. How did I miss that? I'll get it if we get a second. I'll hop over there.
Oh. Okay, I thought that art was cool because it, like they're dragging the doll from the Issues album, and there's just other like little elements that are kind of callbacks to some of the other ones. I thought it was neat.
Yeah. I don't know what I didn't like is like just, and they've done it on several times, like the Issues doll.
Yep.
The Untouchables has a bunch of little kids on
Mm-hmm.
the front. I don't like it when they refer, like there's a lot of children. The first self-titled album, like I don't care for that. Even Life is Peachy, here we are with children again
Mm-hmm.
on the front. Like that just doesn't do it for me. Dang, I didn't realize how many of their albums are child
A lot
oriented.
of
They
them
have
are.
just about. I
With
mean, not KoRn 2, not that one.
yeah, that's some
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
like crow monster thing.
Oh, that artist is really good. Like
It
he's a
is
really
cool. I
good
fucking love
surreal
it.
artist. I forgot his name. I used to follow him on Instagram. Dang, I could have sworn I brought that thing over here. I brought all my KoRn CDs over here, but oh well. Yeah, but you showed it. All right. Well, my number 4, and I kind of have a funny story. So I was just finishing up my apprenticeship at the tattoo
Mm-hmm.
studio, and I went in on a Sunday, and one of the guys that was already a tattoo artist, I don't know who the hell he did his apprenticeship with, but he was doing this as a shoulder, like a half sleeve on somebody from the Untouchables. Untouchables is my number 4.
Okay.
So I really like this album. I like the way that they have um, got the bass pretty prominent, and it carries a lot of low end that kind of drives and goes along with their down-tuned guitars really
Mm.
well. There's a number of songs that are great. Anyways, this dude was tattooing this scene on this guy's arm. It looked nothing like it at
No,
all.
no.
It was horrible. I'm sure whomever that was got that shit covered up like
Yikes.
very soon after. And like I knew enough about tattooing to like this is like, oh my gosh. You're gonna go viral on Instagram with that piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, good gosh, they have so many good ones in here. Make Believe, I liked quite a bit. Um, let's see, what is that? Molten Hating.
Mm-hmm.
Hating is really good.
Hollow Life in that one's really good.
Yeah, Hollow Life. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a chorus where he sings that I like. I, like he's doing some pretty damn good singing for that one. There's so many. Alone,
Mm-hmm.
I think is really good. Yeah, this album, every song is really pretty straightforward and pretty heavy, like that. So, Untouchables is my number 4.
You're probably right, John. They probably all did have like, you trauma as kids, and that's part of what
Yeah,
fuels them
yeah,
today. But yeah.
yeah. What a theme, though. I never really realized that until just now. Almost
No,
every
I
album.
didn't put that together either.
Yeah, just the path of totality. I mean, even KoRn 3 that came out in like I think it was 2010 or 2011. It's got
Mm.
like what looks to be a creep trying to pick up a little like 10 or 12-year-old girl, which is pretty creepy as well. All right, what's your number 3?
I fumbled around a lot trying to decide which one to put at number 3, but I eventually ended up going with See You on the Other Side from 2005.
Mm.
This was the first they were with the same record label for their first few albums, and then they finally switched to a different one on this record, and I feel like you can really tell. I feel like there was like more distortion and like the transitions between the songs I feel like were a lot smoother almost than some of the others. And I love how right off the bat you get like this crazy punch with Twisted Transistor. I
Mhm.
love that fucking song. That's one of my all-time favorites of theirs. Yeah, and then we also had songs like Throw Me Away and Love Song and Coming Undone.
Coming Undone's pretty good. I like
That
that
is a
song.
good
Yeah,
one.
yeah. There's some real good songs on here.
And
If
Tearjerker, holy shit.
I probably like the album, like the paintings that go with this one. Like this is
Yeah,
damn good painter, pretty creative with doing this album cover. Yeah, I remember. I think that was the first album without Brian Head Welch.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was when. That was probably like 2004,
Yeah,
2005
this came out in
when that came out.
2005.
Yeah. And so my number three is their first self-titled.
Okay,
And here we are with the little kid again. So, of course, Blind is on there.
for sure.
And you could tell that they had discovered a style that nobody else was doing. And I remember when I found out that Metallica had taken them on tour,
Hmm.
and I don't know if it was still on MTV or if it was in a magazine that I read it, but James Hetfield was talking about KoRn and just like, duh, yeah, these guys are what's new. These guys are the future of metal, basically what he was saying. I liked, especially on this album,
Hmm.
because they don't do like a whole lot of singing. It at least has an edge of aggression
Yeah,
in it. It's a pretty dark album. Um, let's see, Faggot, I think is a great song. Shoots and
it is.
Ladders.
Yes.
Faggot, Shoots and Ladders, and Faggot is that's a disturbing, really disturbing
Oh yeah.
writing.
Speaking of
Um,
disturbing, Daddy, holy crap.
oh my gosh. Totally agree. Like I've seen a lot of reaction videos where people are
Hmm.
doing that, and once they read what it's about, it's so fucked up. Yeah, that's a real downer. Uh, yeah, I think "Fake" is a really damn good song.
Yes,
Like coming out the gate, whole unholy shite. This album is really good, down tuned. And what I really love that KoRn did that nobody else was doing was that second guitar. Very simple stuff, sometimes with a delay, kind of screeching, squealing a little bit
hmm,
in the background. I love the atmosphere. And usually Brian was doing those techniques, and Monkey would do more of the chords and the man, just really good.
for
Like
sure.
this was when I heard this, I was like, never heard anything like this ever before. So that's my number three.
And another note
Self-titled
about
album.
that album is, when was the last time we talked about a band whose debut album went platinum?
Yeah,
I don't think we have. Like that does not typically tend to happen, which is just crazy.
yeah, right off the bat.
I mean, right from the beginning, like, "Are you ready?" It's like, yep, I think a lot of people were.
Hmm.
All right. Well, give me shit or not, but I actually picked their most recent album as my number two.
Mm. Well, I did listen to it. I don't think it's bad at all. And I actually probably I think they really tried to go back to their heavier elements with it.
Oh, they definitely did. I remember I came out like a year ago. Yeah, it came out in February last year. I stayed up until 1 a.m. to catch the live premiere of it. And holy shit, I was
Mm.
crying by the end of it. Oh my god, it was just so
Mm.
powerful and so good. I feel like it had, some of JD's best vocal work, like in a long time, if not ever. Um, and there were just so many different sounds in that album too. There's like one of the songs almost sounded, a little bit doomy, and I forget which one I thought sounded that way. Was it? Might have been "Hopeless and Beaten," I think maybe. But that album is just killer. Um, and I feel like a lot of people didn't expect it to be as heavy as it was,
Hmm.
especially after like the album that they put out before it. Like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it didn't quite have that edge quite as much.
Hmm.
I felt like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think my
this
favorite
album.
track on there though has got to be the last track off the album. He starts doing the scat shit, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
See, though, that's the thing I don't want him to do. Like I liked it for the first time he did it, and then after that, I didn't like it anymore.
Oh, I
And
love that
and
shit. It gets me pumped up.
and I don't want to hear the bagpipes anymore. Just my
I think they're
personal
cool.
choice. John, what are some of your top albums and why? I
That's a good
guess,
question.
yeah, these people that come in, like I want to hear what they liked as well for their top
Absolutely.
five. But
John,
once again,
Tyler.
I wouldn't call that a bad album though, at all, by any means. And it was a bit refreshing. I can tell they tried to go back to some of their heavier ways. There were a bunch of reviews done, and they were hit or miss. Like some people just fucking
Mhm.
hated it, and some people loved it and
Also, hey,
gave it all kinds of
look at
praise.
my review on its best. Go check it out.
All right. Well, while we're waiting on John and maybe Kyler to give us theirs, um, my number five is,
My
or
number
I
two.
mean, not my number five, my number two
All right.
is Life is Peachy.
Okay.
The first song that I heard was Adidas, All Day I Dream About Sex.
I love that song.
If that is so catchy, all day I dream about sex now, all day I dream about sex. It's such
So good.
a damn
You
good
know what
song.
I want to fucking know though? Why the hell did they start that album with Twist? As I wrote right here in my notes, I'm like, if you make it through Twist, you might be in for a treat. But like, I can just imagine so many people getting halfway through that song and be like, nope, I'm out. That song,
That's
I can't.
that's a good point. No, that is definitely not one of my favorite songs, but I think it's like it might be number one on Spotify for them. Like it's had the
No,
most.
it
Yeah,
can't be.
it's up
No, I
there.
need to go look this up, right?
I would think it would be Blind, but I think it might be Twist.
All right, I
Yeah,
need to look.
yeah, it's just like the twist. I guess like be a little more creative with that.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's not
Yeah,
even.
so that's
Not
mine.
even in the top couple.
Oh,
Their
really?
top songs are "Coming Undone," "Blind," "Freak on a Leash," and "Falling Away from Me."
Oh, Blind. Okay, I was getting it confused with Blind then.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's see which one. Good God is probably my favorite song on there.
That is a good.
That's the song. If somebody's been fucking with me, that's the song I want to listen to when I'm going into battle and
Mhm.
just fucking annihilate somebody. Because that song just builds and builds and builds. Why don't you
Definitely.
get the fuck out of my face
Yeah.
now? Like oh man, the energy that is released in that and the way they build it up is really something else. What a powerful song.
And I'm not sure why they did a cover of Lowrider, but I dig it.
Yeah, good gosh, it's so funny. That's the song I don't like, but I do agree with you on Twist. I don't care for Twist very much.
Yeah.
But Lowrider, I don't like that. I'll take Ass Itch any day over Lowrider. Shit, Kill You.
Mm,
Um, No Place to Hide. That's a really good one. And they still are using it, to me, in this album, they're using the atmosphere
yeah.
really, really well. And not trying to fill everything up and letting that second guitar fill space. The bass is pretty nasty in there. Porno Creep is really good.
Mm,
Swallow, Lost. Yeah. This is the first album that I bought from them. And
okay.
first I got a CD that just had like two or three songs. I know it had Adidas and Wicked on it,
Mm,
and it had maybe Lowrider on there.
gotcha.
But yeah, here's once again there's a kid on the front of the album.
Yep.
Wonder why they didn't do that for Path of Totality.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
Skrillex thought it was weird.
yeah.
All
No
right. Well,
place to
since we're
hide.
zooming right through this, I'm going to run another commercial.
All right.
I believe it's on April 1st. Iron Serpent is dropping their latest video with their latest single, video made by yours truly, and I think it's awesome. Here's a little teaser for it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, what a nice riff. I really like that nice slow guitar riff that he
I did
holds on
too,
the
for
teeth.
sure. All right.
All right, we are already at our number one choice for both of us.
We are.
Do you want me to guess what your number one is?
Sure.
I'm going to say Issues.
You got it.
Not a bad choice.
It was my first album by them that I ever heard. So there's a lot of nostalgia with it, riding along in the car with my dad, listening to KoRn.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's not a single song on this album that I don't enjoy. I mean, most of them are pretty good, but like that one, I don't have anything I don't like. Unlike you, I really like the bagpipe introduction. That's probably like one of the first times you ever heard bagpipes in the metal album, and I dig it. I also, in my research, made note that sometime between Follow the Leader and Issues is when Jonathan Davis got off the drugs, and I think it definitely shows in a lot of ways too. Like I just feel like this album is a lot more, how do I word things? It's like more real, I suppose, if that makes sense, than the first three. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. I really like the songs Falling Away From Me, Trash, Make Me Bad, For You, Hey Daddy. Yeah.
Which is the album that had the Limp Bizkit asshole guesting on?
I don't know.
I think it's either Follow the Leader or it's Issues. It's one of these two. Falling Away From Me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I did not like that from Follow the Leader. Not at all. And I felt like in these two albums, they tried to hit up this kind of rap influence because Rage Against the Machine was huge at that time. Limp Bizkit was pretty big at that time. I was into Rage, but because they were super intense and pretty original, but no way Jose for Limp Bizkit. No way in hell.
Absolutely not. He actually just put out some new music. I hate it.
Yeah, of course.
It's so bad. I had the misfortune to be watching an interview with somebody else, and they decided to play that video, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, not into that type of stuff. I think I felt for this album, it didn't make my top 5, was I felt like it was a little bit more kind of pop oriented as
Mhm.
far as the beats go, and that kind of new metal, kind of flirting with pop elements,
Yeah.
and usually with a beat, and sometimes with a vocalization and how they word things like, and not having quite so much darkness. Now,
Yeah.
there's darkness in the writing because these are like Jonathan Davis writes
Right.
about a lot of pain, personal pain that's in here, in all of his albums.
For
But
sure.
I just didn't feel, I felt like they started getting away from the darkness. What I like. Like, I like my metal really dark, pretty extreme. All right. Well, you want to guess what my number one is?
I'm going to guess. Mm, Untouchables?
No, that was my number three,
Oh, was
I
it?
think.
Shit.
Or,
I suck.
or no, it was my number four. Sorry,
Oh,
number
okay.
four.
I don't remember. All right. What's your number
Um,
one?
it is "Take a Look in the Mirror," which is came out in
All right.
2003. And that's the year that I got married to my wife. So we're having our 20-year anniversary this year. She wants me to take her to the Bahamas. So I don't like I'm a dive master, so I like to scuba dive and stuff like that. So I'll be happy to go do that. But I'm not too interested in sitting out in the sun with all my tattoos because if you
Yeah.
have a lot of tattoos, the sun, you can feel it hitting you and just
Mhm.
piercing deep into your third layer of your dermis, of your skin.
I found out doing research that a lot of people rank this album as like one of the worst, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, to me, this is a dark, heavy freaking album. Like he didn't
Mhm.
do a whole lot of that kind of singing.
No, and I made note of that. I'm like, there's not as many like radio hit type songs on this album, but that's okay.
Right. But what I like the most is Fieldy's bass tone. It
Mhm.
is really pummeling, really prominent, and it really works well with both of the guitars in being down tuned. To me, this is their heaviest album,
Oh,
uh,
absolutely, without a
in
doubt.
my opinion. Right now, Did My Time.
Mhm.
Um, Y'all Want a Single?
I
I
fucking
remember
love Y'all
watching,
Want a Single. That's fucking
yeah,
funny. That's a
yeah,
band being like, "Oh, you want a single? Sure, we'll give you a fucking single. Fuck you."
yeah. Like maybe they were having a hard time with the record company at that point.
Maybe.
Yeah, this they were on Epic for this album.
Mhm.
Um, got Everything I've Known. I love that song. Deep Inside, Did My Time is really good. Here It
Yeah.
Comes Again. Breaks them off right now. This is the album that today listening to it, and I haven't listened to KoRn that much over the last probably 10 years.
Mhm.
I kind of got away from it. And but it's the tuning. I like the production of this album, and I like Jonathan Davis's vocals the best for this album. He has a real good way of writing real catchy kind of choruses.
Yes, he does.
He does bring kind of a funky element into things in his
Yeah.
phrasing, which is pretty creative. It's very unique to him. Not my cup of tea today as something that I would want to really like listen to and get into because there's
Mhm.
so much other good stuff. Right now, I am obsessed with the band Ahab, which is a funeral doom band out of Germany.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. When they come, there's nothing holding me back. Even if I'm vomiting, if I've been vomiting all day, I will go see that show. But here, I don't see any references to children on this album either.
No,
And it is darker and heavier.
for sure.
Um, I felt like he did a lot of good growling. Jonathan Davis did a lot of good growling in this one.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so to me, this is their heaviest album. That's why I chose it as my number one.
All right.
So if you've watched this and you're on YouTube, please go down in the comments. I go back into these every now and then, and I look, and I'll try to respond to you guys. And what are your top 5? Or did you think any of our choices were bullshit? Write it down,
Right?
and
Tell
then
us.
we'll respond to it. But yeah, one thing that I really appreciate is when we have interaction. John is here every week. Kyler, of course, is here every week.
Well,
Babylon
you know
Sang
his
is
week
there
wouldn't be
quite a bit.
complete without the Danzig nipple, so of course he tunes in.
Oh yeah, that's probably why. Yes,
That has got to be why.
we're on to you, Kyler. All righty, so it looks like we're probably going to be doing these on Sundays from now on, correct?
I believe that's the plan, yeah.
And I think 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 Central
Yep.
is going to be the time that we're going to stick with. So I think we're moving to Sundays. So if you want to catch this, we do this almost every Sunday. There might be in a couple weeks we might take a break for a week and not do one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know.
Absolutely, we will. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
And as always, make sure, spend your week, do it right, and stay heavy.
Rotting in this wasteland, left us some bleached bone.